Hey, my name's Joel and welcome back to the Traveler Toolkit. We got a fun video for you today. Inside this, I hesitate to call it a box because it's just a container, is a kayak, if you can believe that or not. It is a foldable kayak from Oru Kayak. This is the Beach Sport model. And let me tell you, this thing, it's large, but it's not heavy. It's also not hard to put together. If you're a subscriber of the channel, you probably remember sometime last year, we reviewed their Lake Sport model, a little bit smaller, but now we're gonna put this thing together. It's all in black. We're going to be doing some fishing off of this kayak, see how that works, test out the stability, and right here, right now, we're gonna be assembling it to see just how quick and easy it is to put together. So let's get right to it. Stick around, you don't wanna miss a thing. So the first thing I'll mention is that there's no real handle on this container. It's just a couple straps that go around the side and this padded strap on top. So if you're walking, you kind of throw it over your shoulder like a piece of luggage, and it really does carry pretty well. I think it's just a shade over 20 pounds. I'll check that and put it on the screen to make sure we get it exactly right. But not too bad if you have to carry this down, you know, a couple 100 feet to the boat dock or something like that to assemble it. And everything you see right here on the exterior is part of the kayak. So to get going, what we're gonna do is actually loosen these straps here on the side, and then these straps come off altogether. They're just on the outside like that, and they come off. So this is your whole strapping system. It's what holds this kayak together. We'll take these and put them to the side for now. Right here on top, this actually is going to become the bottom pan, the seat pan for the kayak. So we will set this aside because we'll need this once we get everything popped out. And this is the main body of the kayak. And on the side, we have a clip, one on each side here, another one on this side here. And we're just gonna kind of hold it together, unclip them one at a time, like you might imagine, and let the kayak fold out. Now I have all the components inside here. So this is where you store everything right here in the middle. We've got our seat and some other pieces. We'll set these aside for now as well. If you want to come in and take a look at this, everything is kind of origamied. I just like that word because it describes the way these kayaks go together. It's folded together right here in the middle. And what you do is you find these two orange tabs. There's one here, one on top. You grab these and you begin to pull apart, just like that. And you're beginning to see that you have a definite front and back for the kayak. So real quickly, what we're gonna do is just pop both of them out, and we're gonna press here. You see there's an orange arrow, we're pressing there. A white arrow, pressing here and just kind of popping it out. So the kayak comes together by using these grooved and channeled plastic pieces. They correspond with these kind of groove locks that run along the edge, and you have two shorter pieces, one longer piece. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to put these rails in, starting with the front of the boat. And we know it's the front of the boat because it's got this piece already installed. It's the footrest with this kind of corrugated piece with Velcro on the front. You'll see it corresponds to these plastic pieces that are already in the boat. And it's kind of sticky rubber is the way I would describe it. So it sets in here just like that. And as you pull the boat together, it's gonna help it hold its form, just like that. So we're gonna stick these kind of loosely in those corrugated spots, and then we're gonna begin to pull this nose together. And it's important to make sure that this plastic flap or this piece of the boat is in, not out. So we wanna pull this in, kind of set our footrest piece in place, and then we can use this strap to kind of secure it just temporarily. Then you use your T-channel on these grooves here. I would call them rails. And there's a little shedding that happens around the edge as you're putting them in first, but you want to just feed it in to where these plastic rails go in between the grooves on your long plastic T-rail, and you're going to push down and in the middle to get it started. See, the more pressure you put on it, the straighter it goes in. Just go slow. You don't need to go fast. And if this is not in its groove, there we go, you won't be able to close it all the way. So slow and easy. Push it all the way in. And when you reach these notches here, you know you're all the way there. So just check it all the way down, looks good. Then you can grab your nose. This is like a neoprene sock that comes over the nose, just like this. I love it. And there is a cord attached that comes all the way up and snaps in place. So you'll see we've got this nice clean nose across the front. We've got it snapped in here, we can tighten it, and the front part of the boat is completely done. So as you're going to the back, you want to go ahead and push down the middle. Now, this doesn't come later in the instructions, but I prefer to do it before we do the backside. I'm going to put the seat in the middle. So basically we take this piece, which was the top of our storage box, and we put it in these grooves on both sides. And it just kind of helps these centerpieces stay down and in place a little bit better while you're doing the back section. So just like that, it's not going to sit down perfectly until we get it all done, but I like putting it in place now. Then next we're going to get our other, I'm going to call it a bulkhead divider, and place this right back here in the same type of spot that we had in the front. And we're going to get our two remaining T-channels, we'll call them, and pull this part of the boat together and begin to feed these in just like we did on the front. Remember, down and together. Just feed them in, down and together. And even though I don't have this all the way up, I'm gonna go ahead and start the second one. I like to do that because it's just nice and tight on the back, and you can push them up together. There we go. All the way to the end. And here we go. Then you just pull your back strap together, take your neoprene toe or wedge at the end, pull it up over the corner. You got your rope here from the center. Pull it out, snap, crackle, pop, tighten things up. And that's the body of the kayak. It's all together. All we have to do now are the specifics right here in the middle. So let me grab you the seat and show you how that goes in here. So the seat actually comes in two pieces. You get this gel cushioned bottom, which, let me tell you, compared to what I have on the Lake Sport model, this is really comfortable and nice and thick and padded. And then you have your back. All you do is in the center section here, you pull this bungee. There's like a special sliding mechanism here. You pull the bungee, set your seat down, so that holds the seat in place, and the back goes in this slot right here, but you take the bungee and go right through this little hole. And when the tab is in the slot there, you just slide it all together. It's kind of an ingenious little engineered device there to hold the seat in place. And you've got a couple bungees that go to little grommets or little loops on the bottom. And you have two snaps in there that snap into these clips here on the side. This allows you to adjust the depth of your seat. Keeps everything upright. We'll adjust it here in a minute. We just pull these tight, make sure we are down. It wants to come out until it's fully installed. I've noticed that. There you go. So now we're fully installed here. You kind of have that backrest. Let me get in and show you. There we go. So you can lean back on this. You can adjust the back up and down. I like mine kind of all the way up. There we go. And if you want to be taller or recline more, you just pull these straps accordingly. Nice, tight. Then once you're in, you grab your footrest down here, and we've got two more clips. I'm gonna hold it with my feet. That seems dangerous. One here, one here, and that's your footrest. And you could do the same thing. Stick it down there. That's a little too close for me because I got longer legs. So I'm gonna loosen it up. It's attached to a bungee at the end, so you kind of stick it where you want it. You've got it nice and centered and positioned. And yeah, that is the center of the kayak. Everything put together. They say in under 10 minutes. You know, this is my second time putting it together, and I would say that's pretty accurate. It didn't take me a whole lot longer than 10 minutes, all the way from beginning to end. The first time had a huge learning curve, but once I went through it just one time, I was able to do what you saw here pretty easily. And the best part is, even when it's fully assembled, you can still pick it up. Like I said, it's not very heavy. We're gonna walk a couple hundred feet down to the boat ramp with this, no big deal. It also has a rail system on the side, which we are going to use for our fishing equipment. So let me go ahead and grab that and I'll show you that up close. So what I like about these rails is that you can mount a lot of different things to them. In our case today, we're gonna try this fishing pole mount. And essentially there is this system, let me take it off here, that almost anything can clip into. And this guy right here just slides into the rails. We've got a couple bolts on the bottom and a couple nuts on the top. We just loosen those up and we can slide it in to the rail system. There we go, one side, the other. Put it wherever you want. You've got one on the right and the left. So if we put it all the way up here, I can tighten this down. And then I can take my fishing pole attachment, take the little star piece, stick it in, and then lock it down. That can't go anywhere. So we can stick our pole in here. It can hold it for us. We can paddle, have our pole up here, and just kind of get where we need to from one spot to another. Now they also sell a waterproof cooler, which I thought was really interesting because it fits in this spot right behind the seat perfectly, however you want to orient it. For me, I like it this way because you can mount on the front, you can mount a pole holder, and this is like an extra zipper pouch with, I'm gonna call these like molly clips. I'm not exactly sure what you call them, but these little clips right here, see it's got these molly hooks on the front. These come around, they snap in just like that, and you can take them on and off. It's modular. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this cooler, but you can throw drinks in there if you're gonna be out on the lake for a long time. Throw your pole in here because it's easier to have that pole behind you when you're paddling than having it out in front of you. So we're gonna set this up in the kayak when we go out and throw our pole in here and just help us get around a little bit better. But this is a really nice insulated waterproof cooler, but it's made to fit in the kayak itself. You see, it's a lot like a lot of the coolers you're seeing with, you know, a couple inches of foam inside, a nice waterproof zipper, easy to handle, fits right in the kayak. Would be a real plus if you plan on taking this out for an all-day excursion. And the final piece to this puzzle is the oar. Now you can get a carbon fiber oar. This thing weighs almost nothing. It folds in half just by pulling out a piece in the middle, just like that. You can take the ends off when you're done, just like this. And the best part is, it, unlike the oar I have for the lake version, which has a little mesh bag, it comes with this bag, which is so much more convenient. It's like an inside-out waterproof bag that you can stick your oars in, or your oar, just like that, zip it up, take it with you. It's got a strap. So I find that a lot more convenient, and it's super easy to put together. You just saw me take it apart, but I'll do it in reverse. You just take these parts here and you got a little nub, spring-loaded nub that goes inside one half, springs out there. You do the same thing on the other half. We've already got it done. Then you can place this in the middle together. And they have little markings here, so if you decide that, you know, oh, setting number 7 is great for me, set it on 7, lock it down. It's got a nice look. I mean, this carbon fiber is really beautiful. We'll see how it performs, but it's certainly lightweight. It's got drip rings on here so you don't get all wet. That's what we're hoping for today. So a nice oar that you can get with this. And we're gonna have the Oru PFD, personal flotation device life jacket with us. You always wanna wear that. So let's go ahead, get this thing out on the water, see how she does, and I'll give you my honest thoughts and opinion once we get out there.
Look at the colors, colors, right, so we've been out on the water a little over an hour now, and really comfortable seats so far. This gel cushioning in here is much thicker than in the other model that I have, and when the pole is behind me, it's really easy to get from fishing spot to fishing spot. When I have it on the rail on the side, it does make it a bit more difficult because there's just no good place to put it that it's not in my way while I paddle. So I have been able to kind of move it up and down the rail a few times. That's not been too big of a deal. This oar, this carbon fiber oar, is crazy lightweight, and it almost feels too light to me, which is weird to say because you don't want your arms to get tired when you're paddling, but I can say I'm not used to an oar being that light. So far so good. I think it's really stable, and I think that you could do a couple hours in this kayak really easy without seeing the fatigue that you might expect in something this size.
I think my favorite part about this model of the Oru Kayak is the maneuverability, because you get the size for stability, which makes it great for fishing or just sitting around or just in general having a big, wide, long base underneath you when you're out in the water, but it's still really maneuverable compared to what a traditional kayak of this same size would be. I mean, that would be extremely heavy, even to try to pick up out of water. This one you can pick up, carry down to the dock or the launch. You can stop and turn on a dime. You can get back into little coves like we were trying to fish and find spots. I did not catch a fish while I was out. I think the weather was just a little bit too cold, but I don't think I'd have any problem pulling one in and kind of getting it off the hook in a kayak. I've never done that before, but I just felt stable, and never once did I think about, oh, I'm about to turn this thing over. And I have felt like that in other kayaks, not even doing extra activities like fishing. So I think it's a really good fit for all sorts of activities. The rail system, I think, is really neat, but it didn't work so well for holding my fishing rod while I was moving. I really wanted to put it behind me more of the time, because even if I put it all the way forward, all the way back, left or right side, it seemed to be in the way, and it's that extra height of the fishing pole. Maybe it would be great for mounting a phone, although that does give me some anxiety, like my phone out there on the edge of a kayak. What if you tip? What if it goes under? I prefer to keep it in something that's a little bit more waterproof when I'm out on the water, but if you're using it for navigation and have that trust and experience level, that could be a great place to mount a phone, and I just don't think it would get in the way in the same way a fishing pole mount would. For that, I found the cooler really handy. I didn't even think about the fact that you could have a cooler behind you that had a fishing pole or a fishing rod holder on it, maybe some other things in there as well. That really, to me, was the biggest surprise, is how handy that cooler was for holding a few drinks. We were out there a few hours, and it really did come in handy. If you were out on a hot summer day, it would be a necessity, but throwing your rod and reel in that pole holder, it's behind you, you can get to different spots, grab it really easy. To me, that was kind of the hidden surprise of all of the accessories that we tested out. But as far as the kayak itself, I thought the setup process was easier than expected. It did take me a few minutes to really get comfortable with putting away, but once I put it away a few times, I got really comfortable with it because it doesn't have to go in a bag, and that's the best part, just kind of straps around it. But out on the lake, it's an absolute joy. Everybody that saw it asked me, hey, what is that thing? Where did you get that? Does it fold up and go in the back of your truck bed? The answer was yes to all of it, but just generated a lot of interest, and I could see that people were really intrigued by what it was and what it could do. I know I enjoyed my time. The seat was really comfortable, a lot of adjusting to try to find the best way to sit in it, and there really weren't too many bad ways to sit in it. I would just give you some advice as far as the footrest goes. Put it a little shorter than you think you need, because my first thought was I want my legs all the way out and straight, but the truth is you have more balance and more comfort if your knees are bent just a little bit. So you probably saw that in a lot of my footage, but those are my unfiltered, honest thoughts after spending a couple hours on the lake with the Beach Sport from Oru Kayak. I really did enjoy it, and I think it's something that if you're new to kayaking or want to get into kayaking but don't have a big truck or a place to store things, this would be a great entry point for you, and even something that experienced kayakers would enjoy. All right, so that's it for the Oru Kayak Beach Sport Foldable Kayak. 20,000 folds on this thing. Set up your fishing gear, take your cooler with you, spend the day on the lake because this gel padded seat is gonna be really comfortable. I enjoyed using this thing, and I think the more I have it, the more I'm gonna wanna use it. I'll leave a link in the description if you wanna check it out for yourself. As always, my name is Joel. This is the Traveler Toolkit, and I'll see you in the next video.